What's up, Aquarius, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tawny Michelle if you are new to the channel, and I'm an Aquarius moon. So love my Aquarians. Happy birthday to all of you guys that are celebrating birthdays this month. It's so exciting. So let's go ahead and get into it. I already drew your cards, and the first thing that really came to me when I was drawing your cards, I started getting this itching on my hand. It was really strange. And then the card 10 dropped out. So right off the bat, Aquarius, obviously, I feel that there's something that you have been putting off that you have to tend to this month. There's no more putting it off. It's became a burden, it's became heavy, and your silence is almost making it worse, and I see that in the cards as well. So there's something here that you are going to have to redo in some way in order to grow from the situation. Something from the past is going to return. I'm getting a little ahead of myself though, so hold on, let's go back. Let's go over the cards. So you also have endurance. You also have manifest for February. And this is your birthday month, yes, but we are having a Mercury retrograde this month. It starts on the 16th, but you will see in the first 2 weeks of February before the 16th a preview of what this Mercury retrograde is going to be about and what you will likely need to reevaluate and come back to. So even though the sun is in your sign, Aquarius, I kind of feel like you've had a hard time when it comes to manifesting your desires, when it comes to manifesting something that you've wanted, that you've desired for a long time. And that's because you are about to do some early spring cleaning, I feel. You are about to, you've already overcame a lot, okay? So it's not like the universe saying, oh, great, you overcame all of that shit. Here's more shit. Even though that's kind of life, right? And I'm not gonna be fake about it. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you like, this is gonna be your month. You're gonna find your twin flame. You're gonna find unicorns, and it's gonna be so freaking cool. You guys know that's not my vibe. That's not me. We are not all twin flames, love and light, and unicorns over here. But I will tell you, this is going to be a month full of so much growth for you. I see that in the cards, and the astrology speaks to that as well. You have endured so much to where I feel that you have gained kind of like this card with the cactus. You have this hard, prickly exterior, okay? And that's fine. But are you really tending to yourself on the inside? Or are you doing things that aren't like you? Have you secluded yourself? Because we have cave here. And we also have the ocean. I feel that some of you are hiding your emotions about something. You aren't dealing with your emotions about something from the past, okay? Could have been the recent past, but I feel like even if it's something that you think is from the recent past, it actually roots back further than that. The roots of it goes way deeper than you may think it does. And that is what you are going to find out this month, Aquarius. This month is going to take you on a ride, as we have the cave here, in the dark of your own subconscious, of your own past, to show you what you've been hiding. And it may feel like a flood of emotions are coming up. You may feel emotional this month with that new moon that happened in your sign. The energy from the new and full moons echoes for a little bit. So you may be feeling that. And you may be like, I don't know what to do with these emotions because I'm supposed to have this hard, prickly exterior. Like, I've endured so much and I don't want to risk losing it all. I don't want to risk losing myself in these emotions, in this huge ocean of emotion that I have within me that's coming up. And if you don't feel it yet, give it some time. It's not February yet. You will. So, and that really goes with the rest of the cards that we have here. So we have take risk, strength, release, and the revolutionary. So you are being asked to do something, to take a big risk this month, but I don't necessarily feel it is external to you. I don't feel that it has anything to do with It may have something to do with speaking up, I will tell you that. But I think that it's more internal. It is dealing with something that you have not dealt with from the past. It is tending to something, nurturing something that you have not yet wanted to face for whatever reason. I think that it's getting brought up for you, and you're asking to have strength. You're asking to face something here, okay? And then after you face it, only then can you release it. You can't release something that you haven't even wanted to look at, that you haven't even looked in the eyes yet. And it's very funny because the cave, I don't know if you guys will be able to see, but there's 2 eyes. You guys are being asked to go in the darkness and face something, and you may feel a little bit worn out. You may feel, with Mars moving into Capricorn, the sign right before yours, you may feel not very up to par, not very excited, not very like wanting to be around a bunch of people, which is totally normal. It's totally fine. Because you're being asked to take care of something. And it's so obvious in your tarot cards too. The first 2 cards that came out for the major arcana were the High Priestess and the Tower. Subconsciously, there is something that is falling apart within you that cannot be sustained the way that you've been sustaining it anymore. And this is another reason why I think some of you guys may have a huge subconscious breakthrough within the next month or 2. You guys probably, I would say it's probably a good idea to do shadow work. It's probably a good idea to do some shadow work because there is something that is falling apart within you. And maybe you've just been silent about it, or maybe you haven't even noticed yet because the next card out was the Sun. So, and I also feel like this is something from the past as well. I was kind of feeling that almost instantly. And then on top of it, we had the Death card and the Judgment card come out. So this is something from the past. You are making peace with your demons, Aquarius, this month. You are facing the past. You are reconciling the past with the present, okay? Somehow, some way. And something is going to be known from the past in order to transform you, in order to finally end something that probably has needed to end for a very long time, but you're finally tending to it this month, if that makes sense. So, and I don't want you guys to be scared. I don't want you guys to think this is all doom and gloom, or, you know, that I'm being super negative. I'm just being honest with you guys, because personally for me, it may sound weird to you, or it may sound kind of negative to you, but I think this is amazing because you have the Manifest card here. This is going to build your endurance. This is going to help you manifest. This is going to make space. This is the reason why you haven't been able to manifest, because you have something blocking, like you have a block within you subconsciously that needs to be taken care of. And so once you take care of that, you will feel as light as a feather. Then you will start being able to manifest what it is that you truly, truly want. But there's something from your past that you're for sure facing this month, because the first card we have, or well, the first week, we have the Four of Swords. So rest, recovery, delays, kind of sticking to yourself, maybe rejuvenation for the first week of February. But then we have the Five of Cups and the Nine of Swords. There's something I feel that a lot of you may be grieving over, or that a lot of you need to recover from. So once again, we have that worry, stress, recovery, dealing with something kind of thing. And I don't think you guys are wanting to deal with it, which is why this month it's coming up and it's the perfect opportunity. Because then the second week we have the Knight of Wands. So making moves, making changes, or possibly even feeling a little bit like you're trying to rush something, or you're trying to make something happen quickly. But then we have the Eight of Swords and the Seven of Swords. So are you going about it in a way that's necessarily healthy? You know? Are you trying to somehow manipulate the situation? Or is there something that you're not seeing the second week of February to where you may have to, once again, take a risk? you may have to take a risk in order to be able to release whatever this is, shame, guilt, remorse, worry, stress from the past. That way you can finally stop suppressing the pain and finally deal with it. So we have the Page of Wands, the Three of Swords, and the Seven of Pentacles. So what this tells me, the first card that came out was the Three of Swords. So you feel hurt, you feel betrayed, you feel, and likely this is the same thing. This is something from the past that comes back up in order for you to deal with. For some of you, yeah, it could be something that happened very recently. But with the Three of Swords here, there is a state of pain and confusion, emotional pain and confusion about something. But with the Page of Wands here and the Seven of Pentacles reversed, this is something that needs to be moved on from. Like, the message is just kind of the same thing over and over again. It's time to move on. It's time to make peace with something from your past that you've been avoiding. Like, you've been avoiding it, you know? You have not wanted to deal with this, whatever it is. So it's time to possibly communicate, possibly announce something, possibly put yourself out there, possibly explore your options, and quit waiting around for something to happen that is not going to happen, that I feel like you kind of know deep down. And then last but not least, for the fourth week Aquarius, we have the King of Swords. So truth, logic, being very intellectual, independent, standing in your truth and standing by your truth. But then we have the Ten of Wands and the Six of Pentacles. And this is where I feel, like I said, this energy of dealing with something from the past could last about a month or two. It could go on into March a little bit. But what we have here is the Ten of Wands and the Six of Pentacles. Like I said, this is kind of where it's like the straw that breaks the camel's back. You are done worrying about carrying other people's burdens. You are done trying to help people that obviously don't want it, or are just very freaking selfish, or just don't really care. You are done dealing with an unfair arrangement. Now, I'm not sure if this is financial, work, job, home, family, relationship. I can't get a clear read just because this is a general reading, and I feel like it's all of those for some of you. And I honestly did not realize that. I knew this month was going to be a little bit bumpy for you guys because of Mars going over all of the shit show that we have in Capricorn, which is your 12th house, leaving old karmic cycles, bad habits, subconscious patterns that screw you. And that's what I see here. I did not realize it would be this much. But what I will tell you is by the end of it, you will know who you are. Saturn is getting prepared to move into your guys' sign, and that's why I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you, because Saturn is your ruling planet, yeah, so that's a good thing. It likes being in your sign. It can be a little bit more undefined and unconventional in your sign. But once Saturn moves into your sign, it's time to grow up. It's time to deal with the shit that we haven't wanted to deal with. And that's why I think a lot of this could also be coming up other than Mars and other than the Mercury retrograde and all of that, because it's like there are certain foundations within your life that are holding you back from who you really are. And these foundations are not sturdy at all. They were never sturdy to begin with. So when the lightning strikes, when the unexpected happens, it's striking something that was already falling apart. It was already weak. Okay, but this is not a bad reading, so I don't want you guys to get that idea. I know it sounds probably a little bit negative or a little bit scary, but what this is doing, Aquarius, is preparing you for your independence, preparing you to live your truth, to be your truth, to breathe your truth. and to not suppress your truth anymore. That is what this is doing. Because, oh my God, once you go into the dark of your own self, of your own subconscious, and once you look at it in the face, once you literally deal with it, once you face it, once you take that risk, the release is going to be revolutionary. It is going to feel so much lighter. You are going to feel at peace. I personally, as an Aquarius moon, can't get away from shadow work, literally. First, I was doing it on purpose, and then it just keeps happening now over and over. And I was like talking about this in my online course because we went over shadow work like intensely the end of last year. And now, you know, the people that are in there that were there for that know how to do shadow work, but it's kind of like still coming up for a lot of us in the course. And the course is a monthly course, so if you are interested in learning more about shadow work and learning how to do the shadow work for yourself and would like just support while doing that, you're free to sign up. It is over on my Patreon for my Soul Tribe and Wonderland memberships. You can check the description below. But if not, Google Carl Jung. Google shadow work. There's tons of information out there. There's tons of videos out there. But it's really just working with these different parts of yourself, these different subconscious parts of yourself that really shake up your life, that cause conflict and discomfort and just issues within our life, you know? And we're human. We're not, life is never going to be like 100% peachy all the time. You know, that's why I don't believe in the whole love and light, rainbows and unicorn shit, you know? Like, that's not me. And like I've talked about this in depth before, but darkness is valid. Now, I believe in balance. So if there was like more darkness than there was light, then I would preach a little bit more about light to keep the balance. But because darkness gets such a bad rap and people, you know, basically tell you to ignore your darkness to try to change your reality, which is fine. People can believe what they want to believe. But personally, for me, that's never how it's worked. I've never been able to tell myself that I'm pretty every single day to the point where I actually felt pretty. I've never been able to fake it till I make it. I've never been able to take the easy way out, ever. And that's kind of what I see here for you guys. Like, there's something that I feel that you guys took the easy way out in, like, in a way where something happened and instead of feeling it, you kind of shoved it down in some way, shape, or form. And so now I feel like you're having to kind of go back and re-feel it again in order to, you're having to go back and shine a light on something. And I feel like also some of you guys are dealing with a situation that has been affecting your health. Some of you guys, like, it's like literally this subconscious stuff that you haven't wanted to deal with, this event or whatever the hell it is that happened in the past is now affecting your health in some way. And I also feel that some of you guys have not grieved properly over a loss. I'm really picking that up too. You've kept it to yourself, you've kept quiet about it, and now it's kind of like, for whatever reason, something triggers you this month. It triggers your subconscious to bring it out into the open, to bring it out into the light, because there's something like you're being called. It's like a higher calling is happening, and we have the revolutionary here. You know, we are getting prepared to enter a new age, which happens in your sign, Aquarius. So it is time. It is time to step up. You know what I mean? And I know you guys have been dealing with tons of freaking shadow work over the last, especially year. But I know you guys have been having to deal with tons of karmic shit. But there's just one last thing, and I think you know what it is, that hits deep that you haven't wanted to face. And it could have something to do with your childhood. Like I said, it may feel like, oh, it's a breakup I went through last year, or oh, it's a loss that I experienced of someone that I really, of a family member or someone that I really loved or whatever that happened a few years ago. No, it's that, but that is almost like an echo of whatever it was that happened when you were younger for some of you, okay? But you are being called, your life path is being transformed. Like your spirit, everything is undergoing a serious transformation because your spirit is being called to something greater. But in order to get there, you have to trust, you have to make space by dealing with the emotions and the shit that you don't want to deal with, by getting in your truth, by being your truth, by speaking your truth, and not letting people get over on you, and in a very unfair way. You feel towards the end of the month, you may feel like something was very unjust. Also, don't sign any contracts this month. Like, don't. I mean, obviously, you do you can have your, live your own life, but I wouldn't, okay? I wouldn't. Especially, I mean, I'd say that anyway because of the Mercury retrograde, but the King of Swords and the Six of Pentacles reversed, no. Some of you may be getting out of a contract or out of some kind of legal situation, but you are dealing with some really higher purpose type shit. So whatever seems like a unexpected event or trigger in your path, it is happening to transition you into your higher calling, into something that is going to be very revolutionary for you. So that is what I am getting for you guys, Aquarius. I'm pretty sure that we went over everything, and I think, you're really going to learn how to embrace who you really are. I really, really, truly, truly feel that for you. And with Mars going through all of that stuff in Capricorn, there may be some suppressed anger there that comes up that you've been blind to, that's been causing you to do things that are out of character for you, or causing you to manipulate certain situations. Because with this Seven of Swords and this Eight of Swords and the Knight of Wands, I kind of feel like there's something that you've been blind to that's been going on behind your back, or that you've been doing that is somehow sabotaging your own self, if that makes sense. So, I mean, this is finally dealing with that thing that you've been putting off. This is finally tending to that thing that you have not wanted to deal with, right? That is what I am getting for you guys, Aquarius. I think that you're going to be in a lot of introspection this month. I think you're going to be a little bit more quiet and closed off in order to really understand these emotions that you have going on within you, and in order to heal, really in order to truly heal. So that in itself is beautiful, but the journey to healing is not ignoring shit and pretending like it's not freaking there. The journey to healing is facing it, is being in the dark, in the cave of your own subconscious, and facing it. You know what I mean? And facing those things that you do not want to face, Let me pull one more card for you really quick here. See what it is that you need to surrender to this month. Ooh, surrender to effortlessness. Stop pushing so hard. The art of living means going with the flow instead of trying to force the river. Beautiful card. And you may feel like that. You may feel like that with Mars and the sign right before yours in your 12th house, especially if you're an Aquarius rising. You're going to feel that Mars energy in your 12th house. And you may feel like you have to control a situation. You may feel like you may take some big risks in order to just try to control something. We also have surrender to creativity. Let your imagination soar. Stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. So whatever you're wanting to know, the answers that you're really wanting to understand, the quicker you stop trying to sit there and pick it apart or control it or think about it, the sooner it'll come to you. Focus on yourself. Focus on creativity. Great month for that. Venus in your 3rd house. You're going to be feeling super creative mentally. You're probably going to have a lot of creative ideas. And Mercury's going to be retrograde in Pisces, which is your 2nd house of gifts and talents. So if you're trying to be something you're not, this month is going to set you back on track. And remember, you guys, this is a general reading. You may not all 100% resonate with this whole thing, and that is completely fine. But I know the tarot portion of this reading was really specific, so definitely let me know down below if you did resonate to this. I'd really love to hear your feedback. And that is basically what I have for you guys, Aquarius, for the month of February. Happy birthday. I know it probably doesn't sound like a great birthday, and this reading may not be for all of you, and that's fine. But make sure you check out your other signs too, to see if those resonate more, to get a bigger picture of what's going on here. I think, as shitty as it may sound, and as like shitty as some of the cards look, they're little phases that we have to go through in order to get, you know, to a point of healing, to a point of surrender, to a point of peace. And once you get there, it's like that it'll so much, like, it'll be worth it. You'll be like, you're not even gonna like regret any of it. You're not gonna like think back and be like, oh, I wish I could have, you know, like, I wish I didn't have to go through that. Like, no, you're gonna be like, wow, I wish I would have faced this sooner. Like, you're going to feel relief. I really, really feel that for you guys. So anyways, I love you guys, Aquarius, and I will see you guys in my other videos. Bye.